Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're doing something a bit different. This isn't just another video about installing Linux on an old ThinkPad. Instead, we'll be covering how to install Emmabuntüs Debian Edition 5 on a ThinkPad X220, and why this combination actually makes sense, not just technically, philosophically, socially, perhaps even politically. Allow me to elaborate. The ThinkPad X220 dates from 2011, Intel Sandy Bridge architecture, up to 16 GB of memory, classic 7-row keyboard, 12.5-inch matte display, magnesium alloy roll cage. This machine is now 14 to 15 years old, and yet it still feels solid, it still boots up. Its keyboard travel remains superior to most modern ultrabooks. It still possesses usable memory slots. It still features a removable battery. It still honors the principle that computers belong to their owners. This aligns it perfectly with Debian, and Emmabuntüs takes it further. Perhaps you're unfamiliar with Emmabuntüs, but it's far more than just another Debian flavor. It's a humanitarian aid initiative. Its purpose is to refurbish old computers and donate them to communities, schools, and NGOs, particularly in areas with limited hardware resources. So this isn't a distribution chasing benchmark scores. It doesn't pursue minimalism. It doesn't chase aesthetics. It pursues practicality and reusability. That matters, especially when paired with machines like the ThinkPad X220. A ThinkPad X220 itself embodying an era of laptop durability. So today we're not merely installing an operating system, we're testing an idea. Can a 2011 commercial laptop still be a useful tool in 2026? If so, which Linux distribution is best suited for this task? Before we begin, let's discuss this particular device. This ThinkPad X220 features Intel Core i5-2520M CPU, 8GB DDR3 RAM, 120GB SATA SSD, Intel HD 3000 graphics, 1366 by 768 TN panel, original Wi-Fi card, no modifications required, no core resets, no IPS replacement needed, no modern luxury features. A clean, reliable, old-school ThinkPad. Truth be told, that's perfectly sufficient. People often forget how capable Sandy Bridge remains for everyday tasks. Web browsing, office documents, email, YouTube 720p, basic development, even light photo editing. We don't play 4K games. We don't render Blender scenes. We're just doing normal human computing. This machine still sits there, perfectly content. Now let's discuss the distribution. Emmabuntüs Debian Edition 5 is based on Debian 12 Bookworm. But what makes it unique is, it comes pre-installed with a wealth of software. It supports both EFS and LXQt. It includes educational software. It includes accessibility tools. It includes offline documentation. It is designed for environments with limited internet access. This is significant. Most Linux-related YouTube content fixates on minimalism. Look how small this ISO is. Look how little memory it consumes. Look how quickly it boots. Emmabuntüs doesn't care about that, it says. What if you're refurbishing a computer donated to a school, and that school might not have reliable internet? Then pre-installing all components makes perfect sense. It's a completely different design philosophy. Frankly, it feels refreshing. Over the coming sessions, I shall guide you step by step through installing Emmabuntüs Debian Edition 5 from scratch on this ThinkPad X220. This is a genuine setup, genuine configuration, genuine usage. It is a complete live-action installation process and exploration video. So if you enjoy exploring Linux, vintage hardware, the classic ThinkPad series, and slow, detailed explanations, then you've come to the right place. Before commencing the installation, let us ensure all necessary items are at hand. Consider this our pre-flight checklist. First, your ThinkPad X220. Ensure it is fully charged or ideally remain plugged into the mains throughout the process. Second, a USB drive of at least 8 GB capacity. This will serve as our installation medium. Third, a reliable internet connection. We'll need this to download the Emmabuntüs Debian Edition 5 ISO file. Fourth, download the Emmabuntüs Debian Edition 5 ISO on another computer and create a bootable USB. Finally, if your ThinkPad X220 hard drive contains any important data, back it up immediately. Once you've gathered all these items, we can proceed to the next step. Our first step is to obtain the Emmabuntüs ISO file. This step requires a fully functional computer with an internet connection. Open your web browser, search for Emmabuntüs on Google. and visit the official Emmabuntüs website. On the Emmabuntüs official website, click Distribution within the Download section to proceed to the download page. You will now see multiple versions of Emmabuntüs available. For this guide, we need to locate the 64-bit Emmabuntüs Debian Edition 5. This is one of the officially recommended versions. Emmabuntüs offers several download methods. The red text indicates a direct download link from SourceForge, while the green text displays a torrent download link from Linux Tracker. Select the download method most suitable for you to begin. The Emmabuntüs ISO file is approximately 3.9 GB in size. This download may take some time, so please be patient. During the download process, we need to prepare a tool to write the Emmabuntüs ISO file to a USB drive, making it bootable. I habitually use Balena Etcher. It is cross-platform, free, and extremely easy to use. Please download and install Etcher on your current computer. After downloading the Emmabuntüs ISO file and installing Etcher, insert your USB drive. Open Etcher, select the downloaded Emmabuntüs ISO file, then choose your USB drive as the target drive. Please double-check that you have selected the correct drive. Choosing the wrong one may erase important data on other drives. Click Flash and let Etcher work its magic. This process may take several minutes, depending on the speed of your USB drive. Upon completion, you will receive a confirmation message. Do not format the USB drive afterwards, simply eject it safely. Once the Emmabuntüs USB boot drive is prepared, we insert it into the ThinkPad X220. Power on the ThinkPad X220, then press the F1 key to enter the BIOS utility settings. Within the BIOS utility settings, we use the arrow keys to navigate to startup. First, we press the F9 key to restore the default settings. Subsequently, we select UEFI Legacy Boot Priority and configure it to UEFI only. Thereafter, we press F10 to save and exit. The ThinkPad X220 will now reboot. Upon seeing the ThinkPad boot screen again, we press F12 to enter the boot menu. Within the boot menu, we select to boot from USB HDD and press Enter to confirm the selection. The Emmabuntüs UEFI installer menu is now visible. First, select our language. Here I've chosen English, then press Enter to confirm. Numerous options appear, but for a smooth standard installation on older hardware, the default settings are typically optimal. Thus, the first option, try Emmabuntüs without install, or install it using Calamares, is precisely what we require. Select it and press Enter to confirm. Your ThinkPad X220 laptop will now load the fully functional Emmabuntüs live desktop environment directly from your USB drive, without accessing your internal hard drive. Even on older hardware like the ThinkPad X220, Emmabuntüs loads quite swiftly. In under a minute, we're presented with Emmabuntüs's attractive live desktop. You'll notice immediately, it's not flashy. It's not trying to impress you with animations. It's practical. Success desktop environment. Classic layout. Top panel. Application menu. Functional icons. What we notice immediately is responsiveness. Even with the Intel HD 3000 graphics, everything runs smoothly. No lag, no tearing, no driver issues. The Debian base shows its stability here. UEFI signal is fine. Track point functions correctly. Function keys work as intended. Suspend works. Battery detection is normal. This is what mature Linux looks like. Nothing fancy. Just reliable. Before installation, I always take a few minutes to move the mouse and open menus to ensure the system runs smoothly. You'll find Emmabuntüs operates with remarkable simplicity and fluidity. It lacks flashy thrills, but offers rock-solid stability. This holds true even when booting from a USB drive, and that's precisely what we want. Within Emmabuntüs live desktop environment, you can also test or trial the operating system's various features. You can access existing drives via the live desktop. If you haven't cleared your data yet, you may copy any necessary files, though you should have backed them up already. The Emmabuntüs Live Desktop offers your chance to spot any compatibility issues before installation. Testing and trialing before installation maximizes assurance that Emmabuntüs is compatible with your ThinkPad X220's hardware. If everything checks out during testing, we can proceed with the installation. On the Emmabuntüs Live Desktop, you will see an icon labeled Install Debian. Double-clicking it launches the installer, which displays a welcome window. Here we are prompted to select an installation mode, choose Classic Installation. Emmabuntüs installer is based on Calamere's, featuring a more modern visual interface. It will guide us step by step through the entire installation process. Step 1. Set your preferred language. This is typically your preferred language by default, though you may configure it to any language you favor. Here, I've selected American English. Click Next to proceed. Step 2. Localization settings. Tap your location on the map or enter your city. This will establish your location and time zone, ensuring your clock remains accurate. Click Next to continue. Step 3. Set your keyboard layout. You may also test your keyboard layout in the provided text box. My ThinkPad X220 uses a standard US keyboard layout, so unless you use a different layout, select this one. Click Next to continue. Step 4. Configure the installation type, which is the most crucial step. For most users, particularly if you wish to make Emmabuntüs your sole operating system, or can erase everything on your ThinkPad X220 hard drive, select Erase Disk. This is the simplest option and is strongly recommended for most users installing Emmabuntüs as the sole operating system on a ThinkPad X220. It will erase your entire hard drive and automatically create the necessary partitions. If you select this option, ensure you have backed up your data. Click Next to proceed. Step 5. Create your user account. Enter your name, your username, your computer name, and your password. You may choose to log in automatically or require a password for login. You may also choose to use the same password as the administrator account. Ensure you remember your password, as it will be required for future system logins and administrative operations. Click Next to proceed. Step 6. Installation summary. This displays an overview of what will occur following the installer's launch based on your configurations. Once verified, click Install. At this stage, the installer will prompt you to confirm changes to your disk. Read the warnings carefully and only click Install Now when fully certain. Step 7. The system begins installation. During this period, the installer will copy files, install the system, and configure everything. On this ThinkPad X220 laptop, the Emmabuntüs installation process actually took approximately 5.5 minutes. During this time, you will see a progress bar and also view Emmabuntüs promotional slides. Step 8. Installation complete. The installer informs us Emmabuntüs is now installed. We may now choose to restart into the new system or continue testing Emmabuntüs's live desktop. We shall now select Restart Now to apply the new operating system. During the restart, once the screen goes black, it is crucial to remove the USB installation media. This prevents your ThinkPad X220 from attempting to boot from the USB again. As the ThinkPad boot screen reappears, we see the Emmabuntüs boot menu, followed by the Emmabuntüs welcome screen, which guides us into the freshly installed Emmabuntüs. Boot successful. The Emmabuntüs desktop loads instantly. No error messages, no delays, no drama. From restart to reaching the desktop took approximately 1 minute. Access desktop. Simple. Unadorned. I have an indescribable feeling. Not excitement, not novelty, but weight. The weight of stability. The sense that this system will run tomorrow just as it does today. Predictability is underestimated. But predictability is what allows trust. Trust is the foundation of reliance. And reliance is the bedrock of productivity. We trust tools that don't surprise us. Debian seldom surprises. That is its strength. Emmabuntüs contains numerous applications. Some may find it bloated, but such criticism assumes abundance equates to inefficiency. What if abundance signifies generosity? If schools receive this laptop, it already includes creative tools, scientific tools, office tools, accessibility options. No downloads required, no configuration needed, no need to understand code repositories. It simply works. Minimalism is elegant, but generosity is human nature. When hardware grows old, humane design matters more than elegance. Let's be honest, the Intel HD 3000 graphics card struggles with the complexity of modern web pages. Heavy sites tax it. Unton 80p video isn't smooth. This isn't a magical machine. But the deeper question is, when did web pages become so bloated that even a 2011 laptop can't scroll through them smoothly? Is the fault with the hardware? Or does the problem lie in our pursuit of excessive abstraction? Modern web applications frequently consume several gigabytes of memory to display content that could have been static text. We tend to blame outdated hardware. We seldom question the bloated state of the software itself. Running Linux on aging hardware lays bare this imbalance. It reminds us efficiency is still possible. So what else can this ThinkPad X220 do for me? Open it up, swap out the memory modules, replace the storage device, change the battery, install any operating system. It won't restrict me. It won't verify my identity before booting. It isn't tied to any cloud account. It simply belongs to whoever physically possesses it. Ownership in modern computing is complicated. We offer software licenses. We provide streaming content. We rent ecosystems. But this machine, running Debian, feels possessed, not rented, owned. Ownership changes one's mindset. When you own a tool, you maintain it properly. When you rent a service, you replace it. This difference impacts sustainability. What strikes me most about Emmabuntüs is not its technical merits, but its purpose. Its very existence aims to bridge the digital divide. This statement carries great weight. The digital divide represents an inequality within modern society. Access to information, opportunities for education, access to communication channels. An old ThinkPad running Emmabuntüs can narrow this gap, not eliminate it, but lessen its impact. This imbues the device with an ethical dimension. It ceases to be mere tinkering. It becomes a contribution, even if only symbolic. Symbols matter. The video is nearly at its conclusion. The Emmabuntüs system is functioning correctly, stable, functional, ready. But I don't wish to end with a technical summary. I want to conclude with a question. What if progress isn't defined by speed? What if progress is defined by endurance? What if innovation sometimes means preserving methods that have proven effective? The ThinkPad X220 was never meant to linger in memory for so long. Emmabuntüs was never designed to make headlines, yet here they are, still at work, quietly, without spectacle. Perhaps that is the lesson we should take away. Not everything meaningful needs noise. Sometimes sustainability is silent. Sometimes resistance is quiet. Sometimes philosophy is installing Emmabuntüs on a 15-year-old laptop and letting it keep running. Cherish the methods that still work. For in a culture obsessed with replacement, maintenance is rebellion. Sometimes enough is enough. Thank you for taking the time to join me. We'll meet again in the next video.